Oh, hello and welcome to this full demonstration of LogixOne Operator for Zoho CRM. Let's just start by talking about what LogixOne Operator for Zoho CRM is. It is a field service management tool that is designed to integrate directly into your existing Zoho CRM environment. Now, there are a lot of people that use Zoho CRM to manage their sales teams, but many are also looking for it to perform more functions than actually just managing the sales process. And with LogixOne Operator, you're able to turn your Zoho CRM environment into a fully functional field service management tool. It's basically made of a number of components that are added to your Zoho CRM environment that your operations team might access. And on the right-hand side here, you can see an Android or iOS device application that you can load from either the Google Play or Apple Store onto your field service team's devices, whether they be a personal device or a company-owned device. So what we're looking at here is on the left-hand side, we have your Zoho CRM environment, and on the right-hand side, we have the LogixOne Operator app. So it's worth noting that because it's using Zoho CRM, you're able to basically leverage a lot of the native functionality that Zoho CRM already offers, such as dashboarding and reporting. But in addition to the typical Zoho CRM environment, when we install LogixOne Operator, we install a couple of other components. I'll just go to those right now. The first of those is what we call the operators module. And it's here where you create your operators. So you can see when I open this CRM module up, you can see I've already got a bunch of operators already, and we're going to run through actually creating those in a second. We also install another module called LogixOne, which is basically a web tab that contains the LogixOne scheduling tool and the LogixOne map to actually geographically map where your users are. And in addition, inside your sales order module, we actually create a couple of extra fields in here that allow you to create sales orders or jobs, if you like, to assign to your operators. And these are those here. And I'll go through those in more detail as we go through the demonstration. But just so you know, that's what we actually install inside your Zoho CRM environment. And then we also create a couple of fields, a number of fields that exist inside the Zoho native Zoho CRM invoices module, which are those here. And so again, we'll go over those, what they mean and what they do as we go through the demonstration. All right, so that's basically LogixOne Operator for Zoho CRM. Basically, to install LogixOne Operator, you need to have the enterprise version of Zoho CRM because you need to add custom modules and web tabs. The typical Zoho One instance or license for Zoho CRM will be adequate and enable you to install LogixOne Operator. Okay, so with that, we'll now start getting to the demonstration. So as mentioned in the introduction, when we install LogixOne Operator, we actually create a custom module called operators. And it's this module where you create all of your operators. And so what's an operator? An operator could be a person in the field, such as a cleaner or an electrician or a maintenance person, or it could actually be a resource. So if you're running cleaning trucks, you could actually create call one of your trucks an operator and assign jobs to that truck. So that's basically what an operator is. And to create operators is very simple. All you need to do is come into the operators module and click the create operator button and then name the operator. And we're going to give it a truck name now. I'm going to call it truck number 2. And then basically we need to give it a password. So we'll give it a simple password and we need to give it an email address. Now, the email address can be anything. And so here we'll call it truck2@test.com. It doesn't have to be a real email address. You can just basically give it any It can be a real email address if you like, but we'll just give it um, a basic email address here. We need to ensure that the operator status is active, and then we can also use the tool to dynamically look up who the best operator for the job is. And that's done by entering these work codes. And work codes are basically codes of what zip or postcodes that this operator is allowed to work in. And then the buffer time is the time that you allow between the preceding job and the new job to calculate whether this operator is able to complete that job. So we'll just say 30 minutes from here. And if you're running our employees module, you can also associate that 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 operator to an employee as well. But that's for another video. Okay, so basically we've just created that operator. We click save there. And then the last thing we need to do is click the sync operator button. So now I click that, and you'll see that that operator has been created. All right, so now if we go back to our operators, you can see here, if we scroll up to the top, actually down to the bottom here, here's that operator truck number 2. Now you can also open up that operator and you can apply an image to it. So you can see in these other examples here, I've got images of these other operators, and you'll see you'll be able to, that'll help you sort between your operators when you're using the scheduling tool. It's worth pointing out that you can create as many operators in here as you like based on your LogixOne Operator license that you subscribe to, but you don't need a Zoho CRM license for these operators. So theoretically, you can have one LogixOne operator, one Zoho CRM license and 1,000 operator licenses. So it's actually going to save you money because you don't need to have a Zoho CRM license for each of those operators. So that's simply how you create an operator. And then when we get into the video further down the track, we'll show you how that operator logs in and actually gets their jobs. Okay, in this next section, we're just going to demonstrate how you can create jobs and associate them to your operators. And in this demo, we're going to use this new operator that we've just created here called truck number 2. All right, so to do that, you just need to navigate to the job/sales order module. Again, you can change this module to be any name that you like. And you can call it anything you like. You can call it a job, you can call it a sales order, you can call it a job card, task, and anything you want to name that, you can do that using the native Zoho CRM module options. Okay, so basically you just need to navigate to that module, and then all you need to do is create a job or a sales order. So we just simply do that by clicking the job/sales order module. Now, when we install LogixOne Operator for Zoho CRM, we create a new layout for you called Jobs. And if you just click that as you're creating a new job, what it will do is actually just reduce the amount of fields that you see there and basically just show or detail the fields that you need to create a job for a customer. So let's begin by creating the job. So the first thing, all you need to do is actually give it a subject. So we'll just call it test daily clean. Okay, and then it might be associated to a quote, and it's worth noting that you can create quotes and convert them into jobs, just as you would any native Zoho CRM quote. And then what we need to do is associate that to an account. So we'll use this one here, 200 Burke Street, and you'll see that because that account already has street address details, it'll pre-populate that with the address information for the job. And this is just pulling from the native accounts module that exists within inside Zoho CRM. And now what we'll do is select a contact. Okay, now you don't need to have a contact for each job. Really what you need to have is basically the subject, obviously the account, But if you associate a contact to the job, what it will do is push out the contact's name and their mobile number to the job. And this is actually an update within the latest version. So it's worth noting that if you want to associate a contact to a job, you can do that, and then if you do that, it will push the contact's details and their mobile number to the operator app, and the operator can actually call a customer from the app, and we'll show that later as we get into how the app actually works. Okay, so we've added the job subject, we've added the customer account, and then we've added the contact. The next thing we need to do is tell LogixOne Operator when the job is to actually occur. So let's just say this is a reoccurring job, and the customer wants it to start, let's say today, and it's going to start from 4:30 p.m. and it's going to take, let's say, an hour. All right. So basically, what we've done here is we put the start date as today's date, the end date as today's date, but starting at 4:30 p.m. and finishing at 5:30 p.m. All right, and then we're going to associate it to that new operator, truck number 2, which we do from here. The service frequency is going to be daily because this customer wants it to reoccur every day, but you can see that you can select daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly, bi-quarterly, or yearly, just like you would any other calendaring type system. And then we want it to repeat every day. So we're going to put 1 there. We could make it every second day if we like. Let's do that just for this example. So we want it to repeat every second day. And then the repeat ends, let's say in 3 months' time. We'll do that there. And we do not want it to occur on a Sunday or a Saturday. And we want to notify the customer via SMS using our SMS tool and email. Now, in addition, what we can do is actually tick this button here to request that the operator gets a customer signature when completing the job. That's optional. You don't have to select that at all. And at this point, what I'll do is also mention that if you only wanted to create a one-time job, you would actually just drop this box down and just click 1 time. And then all you would need, I'll just do that very quickly, all you would need is the start date and time, the end date and time, and the operator. You wouldn't need these other fields because it's only going to occur 1 time. But in this example, we're going to do it daily. It's going to repeat every second day, and it's going to repeat until June the 30th, and it won't repeat. It won't repeat on a Sunday or a Saturday. We've already got the shipping address details, and now we're going to select the service items. Okay, so the items here are coming from the native Zoho CRM products catalog. So we just need to, let's just search here for a cleaning service, 1 hour full service clean, and you can see the prices that are already there. You might have already put those in. And let's add another item. Let's just come up here. Let's just do window cleaning as well, just to demonstrate that you can have multiple items within inside the one job. Okay, so we've created the job, we've got the subject, who the job is for, we've got the times that the job is to occur, we've got the address, and we've got what needs to be done for the job. Okay, and we've also ticked to require a customer signature. So at that point, we'll just save the job. And now you can see that that job has actually been saved. Here's the details for it. Now the last thing we need to do excuse me, is create the operator events. So for every job, there's a job card or an order, as you would have in any type of system, and then you have job events. And so the job events are when the job needs to occur. And again, these could be 1 time, or they could be repetitive. They could repeat every day, every week, and so on. So for the one job, we can create multiple job events or just single job events. So to do that, all we need to do is click the Create Operator Events. We'll click that now. Now it's worth noting that that's actually done by a button, but if you want, you can actually automate that. So you can automate that. So as soon as it saves a job, it will actually create those events automatically. If you want to do that, we have a help document on how to do that. So you can see that now we've got a success warning that the events have been created. So we'll just close that. the page will refresh, and then you'll notice in this job, you'll notice that we have created a bunch of Zoho CRM events that have been associated to this job. All right, so those events have been created. And then in addition, if we go into the scheduling tool by going into the LogixOne module, we'll just let that load. And you can see that there's that job that we've just created, and here's it reoccurring every second day. So if you look here, it's going to occur on the 11th, then the 13th. You'll see, and then the 17th, the 19th, 21st, but you'll see it's not reoccurring on either a Saturday or a Sunday because we told it not to. All right, so basically what we've done now is created those, the job card and the job events. Now that we've looked at creating a job, let's review the LogixOne calendar. Some people like to refer it to as LogixOne scheduler, but basically what it is, it's a scheduling tool or a calendaring system that enables you to visually see the jobs for your operators. So let's run through it. On the left-hand side, you can see here we've got our list of operators, and just basically listed down here, and those actually correspond to operators that exist within inside the, let's just do this, with inside the operators module. So if I go to operators, which we spoke about in the first section of the video, here's a list of all the operators, and then you can see those listed here. Now, only ones that are marked as active will show with inside LogixOne scheduler, and then you'll be able to see them down here. You can change the colors of your operators. So you can see that I just created that operator, truck number 2, and it's got a black color. So let's change that to a something a bit different. Let's change it to like that's similar to the other one. Let's change it to a bright red color. Okay, and then just click done. And you'll see now that any jobs that we've created here for truck number 2 are now changed to the color red. So that's how you change your colors. You can also filter your operators as well. So I can say, okay, just show me jobs for truck number 2, but also show me jobs for operator 3. Okay, and you can see that they're stacking out here as well. All right, and then in addition to filtering by the operators, you can also filter by their shift status, so whether they've started or stopped their shift. So we'll just say shift started, and you can see that none of these have started their shift, so you won't see anything shift stopped, but you can see both of them. All right, but what we'll do is actually just show all of those for the moment. So that's how you select between your operators. As we go, let's go up and over on to the top. You can see that we can either show the mapping function, and we'll run through that in more detail in a second by toggling that little button here. And then if we do that and we hide the map filter, you can see the filter's gone. But again, we'll go over that in the next section. And you can hide and hide the operators as well by clicking that little button, that little icon there. And if we move further over to the right, we see our job counters. And you can see here that we have, for these operators selected, we have 13 jobs, and we have 1 completed, 1 in progress, and 11 open. Let's just actually clear all those out. And so sorry that we can see all of our jobs, and so these counters are showing all of the jobs up there. And what you'll notice is as we actually complete jobs or start them, you'll notice that these counters will actually change, and they actually change dynamically based on what the field operators are actually doing. And then of course, if we look into the main body of LogixOne Scheduler, you'll see the actual calendar itself. And so you can see here that I've got the week view showing. I can actually just show by day, and you can see here are my jobs for the day for all of my operators, or I could show by week, or I could show by month. Let's go back to week. You can see that we can change the weekday. So this is from Sunday to Saturday, the 15th. I can change those dates. So if I change those times, you'll see those jobs that are coming up, or I can just go quickly to today. And also I can search. So I can search by account, I can search by postcode. I can basically use anything that's contained in the job to actually find the job. So let's use the postcode 3000. Press enter, and we've still got those there. Okay, you see if I go to 3001, you'll see that there's none there. Okay, but if I go to test, you'll see that you can see that the others are hiding. Anything that doesn't include test is actually hiding. So this is a quick and easy way for you to be able to search for your jobs. And if I clear that, you'll see we just show the items again. Now looking at the main body of the calendar, you'll see here's our jobs. You'll notice that some of the jobs have a little green tick in them. That means that they're completed. Other jobs have a little hazard sign, which means they're in progress. And you can see that correlates to the count here. So you can see that we've got 13 jobs in total. We've got one that's completed, and you can see that via the tick, and we've got one in progress and 11 still open. Okay, so I can actually click that one completed, and you'll see it'll only show me the jobs that that has been completed. If I go back and click all jobs, all right, and then you'll see here, and then I've got one in progress, and I click the one in progress, and there's that job that's in progress. So that's a really quick way for you to be able to see, show me the jobs that are in progress right now. Click that, and you'll see all of the jobs in progress. And again, we'll show you how an operator marks the job as in progress. So let's go back to all jobs. So now we can see all the jobs. And if we scroll down, we can actually see that if I click on that job that's completed, you'll see I can actually navigate directly to the CRM event or to the underlying job, or because this job has been completed, the actual invoice that's related to that. So if I click that, you'll see here's the invoice that's related, that was actually created when that job was complete. But again, we'll go over that in further detail. If I click one that's in progress, you can see I can only see the event or the job for this job, and I can link to both those, but I can't see the invoice because it hasn't been completed yet. I can also edit them. I can change who the operator is. We'll change that to truck number 2, and I can update that, and we'll see that that actually changes to truck number 2. In addition, what I can do is actually move jobs. So I can take this job here and I can move it by using your mouse, so drag and drop, and I can also change the time that it takes. I can move it from that day to that day, and basically drag and drop. So you can use the tool to be able to quickly see where your jobs are, but also move them around. If they look like one operator is too busy, you can actually move them from one day to the next, or you can change the operator, allocate them to somebody else, and so forth. So it's a handy tool for you to be able to do that. Okay, so that's basically how the LogixOne scheduler or the calendar works. Okay, in this section, we're going to show you how you can use the mapping tool to geographically locate where your operators are. So to do that, we stay in the LogixOne module, and we basically click map here by toggling this icon here, and the map will locate to your browser's address. So wherever your browser is located, that's what it will center on. Now you can see we get a map here, and we can see that we have different colored trucks, red and green trucks. So if I zoom in on here, you can see that here are those operators. and there's actually two here, located in exactly the same address, but you can see that they're here. Now, this information is being provided from the app, and so the app is basically updating in real time its location back to um, Zoho CRM, so that you can see geographically where your operators are. All right, and just quickly, just to run through some of the features here, what I can do is actually map where my operators are. And also if I come here and I select, say, just truck 2, you'll notice that I can hide all of the other operators. Okay, now you'll notice you can't see this truck yet because this operator hasn't actually logged in yet, and I'm going to show you that in a second how to do that. So let's select something else. Let's say my order gate 1 here. Let's just select them, and then you'll notice that all the other operators, they disappear, and the only one that shows is my order gate 1. So you can see them there. And then, so this is a quick and easy way to find somebody if you like. All right, so that's that. Let's just close that there. And let's show all the operators. You'll notice that there are green and red operators. So green means that they're in shift, and we'll show you that working in a second. So you can see that here for operator number 6, that their shift started. So you can see that they're green here. You'll also notice that they're red. Notice that we're not receiving updates from them as well. So if we look here on the operators, you can see here's the operator name. You can see their shift status. So this operator, their shift stopped at this time, this date and time. They've got one job, and we are not receiving any updates from them as to their geolocation. All right, so that's basically what's showing here. And then across the top, this filter, what I can do is actually show, and on the map, as well as seeing where my operators are, also see my events. So I can come here to job events, and I can select, say, today, and event status is all, and then click apply, and you'll notice that these jobs will start to map out. So here are those jobs that we actually just created today. Okay, so there's one there. There's that job that we created just now, the test daily clean. And if I click on that, you'll see it's blue because it's open. You'll see the date and time that's going to start, who the operator is, and what the job status is. And again, link directly to the event or the job. All right. I can also show my accounts. I can also, on the map, actually show where all of my accounts are. And using this filtering, I can filter it down to states and postcodes. And you'll see you'll start to map out the actual accounts here, their location, who they are, and you can navigate to them as well. So this is a great tool for marketing. So let's say that you wanted to see where the majority of your customers are. You can see them here, or you could see where they're not. And you could use that to sort of target areas that you wanted to market into. So that's a handy tool. In addition, what I can show is operator history. So I can take an operator and select the date and time of when between the dates and times, and then I can map out, let's say from 8 o'clock, and then the end time, and click apply, and the operator's found. Let me just do that in a second. So yeah, I just had those dates there. So what I've done is I've selected my order gate 1, I've selected operator history, and I've selected the correct date, so today's date, and you can see here, even though it hasn't moved, you can see that it's got the location of the operator, of where they've actually moved to, and you can actually see that that operator is actually moving. So it's worth noting that the map will receive dynamic updates and update every 10 seconds, showing you the location, and you can actually just see that that operator moving. You'll also notice that next to the operator name, you've got this little green dot. That means that we're receiving updates from the customer, from the operator, and that you'll see that they've clicked their start shift. So just to demonstrate that, if I come over to the operator app where I'm actually logged in as this operator, and I click stop shift, and then I confirm that I'm stopping my shift, you'll notice that the shift stopped has changed to stopped at that time. Okay. and then what will actually happen from the device, it will actually stop sending its location. It'll only send location when the operator has clicked, after the operator has clicked start shift. Okay, so that's the LogixOne Operator map. Okay, now that we've looked at basically the back end of LogixOne Operator for Zoho CRM, which is basically everything that your admin team would do inside your Zoho CRM environment to create and allocate jobs to your operators in the field. It's now time to have a look at the LogixOne Operator app, which you can download from either the Google Play or Apple stores. Yeah, let's have a look at that now. So you can see on the right-hand side of the screen, here's an app. I'm basically sharing my phone with my app installed. And what I'm going to do is basically simulate logging in as that operator that we just created, which is truck number 2. So you can see here in truck number 2, in the back end, you can see that that they've got a little red dot next to their name. That means that we're not receiving information from them and that they haven't started their shift. And that's because they've never logged in. And you'll recall that if we go into our operators module, here is that operator that we created, their email address and their password, and they use this to log into the app. Now, for every customer, you'll have a unique company ID, and typically that's the name of your business, and that can be whatever you want it to be. In this example, it's Demo 6, so we need to enter that here and then click Connect. And then the first thing it will do is ask for our operator email and password. And we take that from the details that have been created inside Zoho CRM inside the operators module. So we'll enter that information here. Okay, and then we'll put in the password. Wrong operator, but anyway, same password. And I'll just type that in, which is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and we'll click login. Okay, so the first time that an operator logs in, they need to accept that their location data is going to be tracked. And we'll do that. And now you can see it's locating their device. And now if we go back into LogixOne, and let's just wait for that to update. You can see that they actually haven't updated yet, right? It's still got a red dot next to truck number 2, and it's still shift position stopped, and it's got no time because this user has never logged in, and also this operator has never clicked start shift. So the first thing that an operator needs to do once they log in is click start shift, and they need to accept that they're fit and ready for work, and they can click continue. Okay, now you'll notice over here on the left-hand side, you can see that truck number 2 has started their shift, and you can see the date and time that they have, and you can see this little green dot here that shows that we are now receiving their information. All right, and so if we zoom in here, let's go back to the job events, and we'll just And you'll see here, we've got all our operators. What we'll do is we'll just isolate in on truck number 2, and then you can see that there. And you can see truck number 2 is now green. You can see the truck's name, and you can see up here that their shift started at that time, and you can see that they've got 3 jobs associated to them. So if I click on truck number 2, you can see here that their shift started and the last time that their position was tracked, okay? And again, if this device moves, you'll actually be able to see the operator position moving. All right, so you can see that the operator has logged in. Now, the operator has logged in, they've started their shift, and now all they need to do is click their My Jobs, And here they'll be able to see the jobs that they have to do. And you'll notice that we created that test daily clean job, and you can see that they occur every second day. You can see here on the 11th, 13th, 17th, and the 19th, and the 21st, and so on. And you'll see they never occur on a Saturday or on Sunday because we asked it to exclude those days. All right. So let's go to today. And now you can see this is today's date, and you can see the jobs that the operator needs to do. And let's say they're going to do this test daily clean job. They simply need to click on it. And here's the job details. You'll notice we've got the job name, the customer name, you've got the contact name, the contact's mobile, the job address, the date and time that it starts, and the date and time that it's been registered to finish, and what the service items are here. Okay, this is what needs to be done, and any notes that are associated with the job. You can create notes back inside CRM, and I'll show you that in a second. We'll just do that right now, actually. So we'll come back into LogixOne Operator. We'll go back into the calendar, and we'll select today, and you'll see that we've got this job here. And then what we're going to do is open the job. All right. And you'll notice that there's no notes here in the description. So what we'll do is we'll add some. And we'll save that. And we'll come back here to the job. And we'll open it again. And you'll see those notes are there. All right, so you can see that the operator can see any notes that you've added there. And if the operator wants to add any notes, they can do that here. All right. Now, in addition, let's say you want the operator to see some attachments in that job, we can do that here as well. Okay, so we can come here to the attachments and let's upload a file. Let's just say it's that picture there. Let's click open. Let's attach that. So now that attachment has been added. And let's click on attachments. And you can see there's that screenshot that's actually been uploaded to the job, which is in the attachment section. All right, so let's go back now into the actual main part of the job. And the first thing that the operator can use this button here to navigate to the job. All right. So you can see he's using Google Maps, how to navigate to the job. So they've used Google Maps to navigate to the job. They can get there. They've got the contact details. They want to call the customer. They can click the call customer button here. And then that will bring up their phone dialer and the number, pre-populate it. Okay. And then basically they can start their job. So once they arrive, the first thing they need to do is click the check-in button. Now, everything I'm about to show here is the major updates that exist that we've just released with inside LogixOne Operator, the app itself. So once the operator clicks check-in to basically state that they've begun the job, you'll see what it will do is record the location, time, and date. So now what it's done is it's captured the time and location when the operator clicked the check-in button. All right. Now, if I go back here at this point, you can see now I got a green button to complete the job. The check-in button is not there anymore because the operator's actually started it. So what we'll do is we'll complete the job, and then they do the job and basically complete the items that they've actually completed based on the service details that you've requested. So they've done one of those and one of those. Now, in addition, they've also got additional items. And so they can select that button here and then scroll down and select other items that they may be doing. And you can see they can do this as required. All right. So they can add the item, add the quantity. All right. And add description details. All of that information is there. And these additional items are being sent from the CRM to the device from the products module. And you can choose which products the operators are able to see in this additional item list. Okay, so let's say they've done 3 of those and there's no description for that one. And then what they can do is actually save it. Okay, so they've saved the job. And you'll see it's just updating the information. All right, so you can see here, here's the service details. But at this point, they haven't actually finished the job yet, okay? Just imagine they're going through the job and they're completing the items that you originally detailed and they're adding additional items. And they can go back as many times as they like and complete the job and add additional items. Now they might come back in here and change this to 12. Or they might now add another additional item, okay? And they can keep doing that as many times as they like. They could they could change that, they could delete that and add a new one. They can change these items as many times as they like. Now, at the point that they have fully completed the job, what they're able to do now is click the Save and Complete button. And once they've done this, you'll see they'll get an alert to mark as complete because this action can't be undone. Because what it's about to do now is create a corresponding invoice for this job. So we'll click Continue. So your final quantities do not match those listed. Do you wish to continue? Because we've asked them to do 1, but they've entered 12, we're just warning them that that differs from the original request, okay? So we'll just continue with that. And then actually we'll come back into LogixOne here. And then, well, the job has been completed, all right? So if we scroll down now, you'll notice that the job's been completed. And you can see that inside the back end of with inside Zoho CRM. You can see that now we've got another job completed, and here it is here. It's this one here. You can see it's the truck number 2 test daily clean. You see the little tick on it. It's been completed, and we can actually open that, and then we can see the invoice here. We can link directly to the invoice that's been created. All right, so if we wait for that to load, you'll see here's that invoice. Okay, you can see, let's scroll right down. Here's all the items that have been done. You can see the original request was 1, but actually they completed 12. And here's those additional items that were added to the job as they went. You can also see the completed location, the check-in location, the total time to complete. What you don't see here is a customer signature because the operator hasn't actually asked the customer to do that yet. So the customer can do that. Oh, sorry, the operator can ask the customer to sign, and then they can enter the name. And then they can save that. All right, and so now the signature has been added. And if I refresh back here on the invoice, you can now see the customer signature has been uploaded, which is here. Okay. Now we've also added an additional button called follow-up required. So let's say the operator has completed the job, but they want to notify the admin team to follow up. What they can do is click that button, and you'll notice that's checked. They can also add in additional items such as please check whatever with with customer. Let's save that. Okay, now the notes have been updated. They can also upload attachments, sorry, by coming back here. They can click uploads, take a photo. They can upload that. The app will actually also compress it. So if it's bigger than 1 meg, it will reduce it to less than a meg. And so now the image has been uploaded. Okay, and if we go into the attachments, we can go to the uploads. You can see there's that photo that they just took. All right. And then we can go back. And you can see now they've left some notes, they've ticked it for follow-up, and this is, again, this is a release that we've just made. And now if we go back into the invoice and we refresh, you can see here that the flag for follow-up has been ticked. And you'll also see that there's some notes here, which is the from the operator itself. So please check with customer has been added. And you'll also notice that there's the image that was taken from the app. So if I click that and open it, there's that picture that was taken and uploaded from the app. And so now you can see in the invoice, or what you might call the completed job card, you can see all of that information is pertained here. And because we've flagged or ticked this field, basically what that means is that you can run workflow automation rules to send a notification to one of the admin team to follow up, do whatever you want, actually using the native capability that exists within inside Zoho CRM. All right, so yeah, now if we go back into LogixOne, you'll notice that that's actually been completed, and you can see that job as well. And then if the operator goes back into their jobs, you can see now that's green, and so therefore that job's been completed. You can see this one here, the test account weekly clean. All right, so you can see that it's that purple color because it's still in progress, and you can see that here inside the calendar tool, you can see that the little hazard logo shows that it's in progress, and you can see that via the counter that there's only one item in progress, which is this job here. So then what I can do is basically open that, and I can scroll down as the operator. And complete the job. So I'll tick that, I'll complete it. I'll just add in the final quantities quickly. I won't add any additional items, and I'll click save and complete. Just let it process its change. Now you'll notice the counters here are changing, so it's gone from 0 in progress to 3 completed, and here's that job here that's just been completed. I can tick it, and now I can open up the invoice for it. Okay, so that's pretty much an in-depth explanation of the operator app and the completed items or invoices that actually it creates, which is shown here. So we'll just cover off that quickly in the next section. So I just want to go over in this section just quickly what happens when jobs are completed. We did show some of that before. when talking about the operator app, um, because it's part of the function of it. That is that when a operator completes a job, what they're doing is creating a corresponding invoice with inside Zoho CRM, which you can call an invoice or you can call a job completed card, whatever you want. And so for every job event that gets created, so if I go to this date here, the 13th, if I finish that job, it will create a corresponding invoice for that job, that customer inside the system. And the job completed card or the invoice contains a lot of the information. So the job that it's associated with, the customer account, the contact, who the operator was, the completed location, the check-in location, if the customer signed or not, what their name was, the check-in time, the total time to complete, the address that the job was to be completed at, and then all of the service items that exists for that the actual operator completed. And then, of course, this can be easily synced or sent to the customer via email, or if you're using some of our finance tools, you can actually click this button here and sync it to Zoho Books. So that invoice has been created and I've just clicked that button. Again, that can be automated. You don't have to have we can create it so that it automatically fires once it's created, and then you can see that an invoice is being created into Zoho Books. If I scroll down here, you can see here's the books invoice for it. So I click that, and now you'll see there'll be a corresponding invoice with inside Zoho Books to send to the customer, run bank reconciliation. Okay, so here's the invoice here. So that has it. That's basically 50 or so minutes of a detailed explanation of how LogixOne Operator for Zoho CRM functions. It includes some of the updates that we've included, which are the adding a contact to a job and allowing the operator to see the contact details and see their mobile number. It also includes the flag for follow-up button, which is included now so that the operator can remind, say, the admin team to follow up on that or perform other functions. And then in addition, what's been added is the ability for operators to add additional service items as they go. So just to recap on that, they can check in, start the job, okay, add items, add additional items if they're required, or even use it as a counter. So you know they've done one of these, and then save it, and then they're able to go back to the job and continue completing it. So they can add this item in now. And then save it and keep going. So they don't have to add all the items and then complete the job, which was in the previous version. They could only complete the job once. Now they're able to sort of add items as they go before they create the invoice. So I hope that was self-explanatory. It's a reasonably long video, but obviously the system does quite a bit. Please don't forget that because it's using the standard native Zoho CRM sales order module and invoices module, you're able to create a bunch of reports and dashboards with inside Zoho CRM to meet your business requirements. And there's a level of customization that you can do in here that cannot be done in other platforms. If you don't know it, Zoho CRM is extremely customizable, and the ability to run automation and create new fields and new modules is actually very powerful, as is running reports and creating dashboards. Of course, we're here to help. If you need any additional customization, more than happy to to help you with that. We've done that for many customers, help them actually customize the environment to meet their specific requirements. So if you have any questions, you'd like a personalized demo, please reach out to us using the details in the description below in the video. So thanks for watching.